Welcome viewers to this session. Now we want to move on and do squares and square roots of fractions. We will start with the squares, then move to square roots. And we will see how to find squares of fractions, then square roots. The word square is a simple thing. To find a square of a number, just multiply the number by itself. That is now finding a square. Multiply the number by itself. That is very important. For you to find a square of a number, let's say b, for you to find the square of b, you will have b times b. It is the number multiplied by itself. That is now a square. So finding squares of fractions, we normally do it separately. We find the square of the numerator, square of the numerator, and the square of denominator, but we do it separately. We find the square of the numerator and the square of denominator. This is not a square. Of the denominator also, but we do them separately. When you have, let's say, a over b, this is what we do. You'll find a times a over b times b. You'll find other people doing a times a over b. This is not the square of a fraction. We must do the denominator and the numerator separately, so that whatever we are getting is square of both ends. And remember, when finding square, never, let me write in capital, never simplify. We've done simplification. So someone will go ahead to simplify when finding square. When it is find the square of, let's say, 3 over 12. Find the square of 3 over 12. Don't simplify at this point, or after you've gotten their squares. That will be 9 over 144. Don't look for a number that can divide both, so that you take 3, you divide both sides by 3. Don't do that. When you are finding square, when it is 3 over 12, just to go ahead to get 3 times 3, that is the numerator, over 12 times 12, the denominator, so that your answer is 9 over 144. This one, leave it there. That is now the square, because when you simplify, whatever you are getting there is not the square of the fraction you are given. So when finding squares of fractions, never simplify. Another example, you can count that as my first example. So another one, we can do this. The square of 2 over 3. We can also write it this way. You can see that my bracket covers everything, so that whatever I'm going to find the square of is 2 over 3, the fraction, not 2 alone or 3 alone. I'll move forward to get 2 times 2 over 3 times 3. 2 times 2 is giving us 4, then 3 times 3 is giving us 9. So the square of 2 over 3 is 4 over 9. Leave it there, don't simplify. Another one can be 3 over 8. 3 over 8. The square will be 9 over 64. Just take 8 times 8, then 3 times 3. You are getting 9 over 64. Let's try this. 8 over 13. 8 times 8 over 13 times 13. 8 over 8 is 64. 13 times 13 is 169. So that one becomes our square. You can try the square of 17 over 25. And then you can have, let's take 9 over 16. You can try the two at your own time. We will move forward to do square roots of fractions. Square roots of fraction. Just as we have done in squares, we will find the square root of the numerator and then the square root of the denominator separately. We are now dealing with the square root of fractions. I've said find the square root of numerator and the denominator separately. I'll just go forward to do an example. My example is this. This symbol is that of square root. Inside it, I have 3 whole number, 13 over 81. In this case, the first thing I'm going to do is to convert whatever is inside to improper fraction because it is mixed. So I'll go ahead and have this. That one is 256 over 81. Because this one is going to give us 81, 3. This is 3. We don't carry because it is a fixed number. That one is 24. Yeah. So 24, we add 13, so that is 6, 5, 2. So we are having 256 over 81. But we've said we find the square root of the numerator separately and the square root of the denominator separately. So we will go ahead to have this, the numerator 256 over the square root of the denominator, that is 81. The square root of 256 is 16. And the square root of this one is 9. When we have it that way, this one is now our answer. But remember, in this case, we can decide to write the answer we are having to mixed fraction as there was in the question. So that one will be 1 whole number and 7 over 9. Thank you very much for now. When we meet next, we will be doing sequence in fractions, and please tune in at that time so that you don't miss the lesson. Thank you very much for your time and welcome to the next session.